Welcome back to the first edition of Facebook Live for 2017. If you missed the On the Money show yesterday morning, what I talked about was New Year's resolutions. You know, everybody makes resolutions every year, whether it's to lose a couple pounds or get their financial house in order. They seem to be the two most popular resolutions. And 2016 is officially in the rearview mirror, and you're 1 year closer to retiring. If you're in your 50s or 60s, this should serve as a wake-up call because time is running out. You need to get serious about this. So how do you really make New Year's resolutions? I mean, one thing that I always tell people is they have to be SMART goals. And what do I mean by SMART? They have to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive. You know, specific. I mean, setting a goal like I want to save more money, that's not real specific. So it should be, you know, I want to build up $5,000 in my emergency fund by the end of the year. That's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic. So again, set SMART goals. Determine how you're going to invest for each goal. Again, this comes down to time frames. You know, it's interesting, they say the three most important variables in real estate are location, location, and location. Well, the three most important variables in an investment are time, time, and time. When are you going to need the money? If you've got a goal for something that you're saving for in the next 5 years, you've got to keep that money somewhat liquid. It should be in a money market account, a CD, something where, unfortunately, it's not going to earn a very high rate of return at this point in time, but you can't afford to subject it to market risk if the goal is within a 5-year period. If you're saving for something a little longer than 5 years, college education, retirement in particular, and you've got a longer than 5-year time frame, then you can be more aggressive with those funds and you can take more risk. So again, it depends on how long before you're going to need the money. Third thing you need to do is calculate how much you're going to need to save each month. Again, there's calculators online. You can find these things. Again, you need to figure out how much you need to put away each month to reach your particular goal. The fourth thing, and I can't stress this enough, take advantage of the government. Look for tax-advantaged ways to save, whether that's contributing to your 401k plan, to an IRA, a Roth IRA. Take what the government allows you to take, especially if a company is going to match some portion of your contribution. You got to be maximizing the government advantage tax savings plans. Minimize your investment costs. Be cognizant of what you're paying to invest in the accounts you're paying on. Fees can take a big chunk out of your return. So again, I know it's boring, but look at the prospectuses. See what they're charging you to manage your money. Another thing that I'm a big stickler on, automate your savings. I mean, whether this is in a 401k, a company sponsor plan, or what, even if you don't have that, I've been in the habit my entire life of automating my savings. Pay yourself first. If you view, you know, you're going to pay your mortgage every month, you're going to pay your electric bill and your water bill every month. Why? Because you have to. If you treated retirement in the same way, guess what? You'd be a lot better off for retirement. So make retirement a bill that you have to pay. The other thing that you got to be cognizant of, as you pay a bill off, don't keep paying that bill. Don't stop paying it. Because you obviously, let's say it's a car loan, it's $500 a month. If you've been paying $500 a month for 5 years, you obviously can afford that payment. So even though the payment is no longer there, reallocate that $500 a month to a savings vehicle. Put it in a retirement account. Put it in a mutual fund. Because if you don't put that $500 a month away very quickly, your budget will find some little nook, some little cranny, and that $500 will evaporate. In a couple months, you'll say, boy, I don't know how I ever had that $500 a month payment, because it'll disappear. So automate your savings and make sure that as you pay one thing off, again, that's the golden handcuffs. The phrase is being shackled to your salary no matter how high it is. You know, I always say that people's expenses will always rise to meet their income. Maybe it's the guilt, maybe it's, hey, I deserve it, this kind of thing. But as people's salaries go up, their expenses will always rise to meet that increased income. If you are comfortable in a certain standard of living, if you can maintain that standard of living as your salary and your income goes up, take that extra money, sock it away for retirement. Stanford University did a study, and they said if people could actually picture themselves 30, 40 years down the road, if they can picture themselves in retirement, they're going to have that much more likelihood that they will be putting money away to save for that future person. But that's the problem. Most people they think it's so far off, it's not a big deal. keep in mind the most important dollar in a retirement plan is the first one you put in. That's the one that compounds over and over again. So set smart goals, try to automate your savings, and again, live within your standard of living and put away all extra money. That's your tips for this first Facebook Live of 2017.